Kia ora, I'm David Chastain with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week at Everything You Need to Know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock with news global trade may still be happening, but it seems to be happening at a slower pace. But first, last week new US jobless claims were 206,000, which was a small decrease from the prior week, and now 1.45 million people are on these benefits, a record low. Tomorrow we get the July non-farm payrolls report, and that is expected to report a gain in employment of 250,000. The trade deficit in the US narrowed by $5.3 billion to a six-month low of just under $80 billion in June. Total exports were up 1.7% from the prior month to an all-time high of $261 billion and 23% higher in a year. Meanwhile, imports went down 0.3% to $340 billion in June from May, to be up just 20% from the same month a year ago. Their trade deficit with China seems to be stable at about $27 billion a month. Part of the reason imports are staying high is to guard against future shortages. Warehouse owners say more retailers are looking to add storage capacity, both for goods now reaching their networks of stores and distribution centres, as they prepare to keep more inventory on hand long term to guard against stockouts. And Canada's trade surplus widened to $5 billion in June from a downward revised $4.8 billion in May. This was their largest monthly trade surplus since August 2008. And staying in Canada, house prices are retreating sharply in both Toronto and Vancouver. And the Bank of England raised its policy rate by 50 basis points to 1.75% during its overnight meeting, the sixth consecutive rate hike, and pushing borrowing costs up to their highest level since 2009. It was a unanimous decision, and the rise was as markets expected, even if it was their biggest rate hike since 1995. They have inflation running at 9.4%, and it will peak above 13%, they say. They also say the country is about to enter a recession in 2022. But the star of the trade data reported overnight was Australia, who recorded an all-time record trade surplus in June of $17.7 billion for both goods and services. That takes its annual surplus to $136 billion and a rather remarkable 6.3% of GDP. And the cost of shipping containers by sea continues to fall, down again last week to be almost 30% lower than a year ago. Bulk cargo rates slumped as well. The US Treasury 10-year yield starts today at 2.67% and down 6 basis points from this time yesterday. But the price of gold opens today at $1,792 an ounce in New York, which is $29 up from this time yesterday. And oil prices start today down $3 at just on $88 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price is now at $94 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar opened today up 0.5 cent from this time yesterday to 63.1 US cents. Against the Australian dollar, we're marginally firmer at 90.4 Australian cents, and against the euro, we're unchanged at 61.6 euro cents. That all means our trade weight index starts today at just under 71.3. Get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chastain. That was 90 at 9.